Your mind is not your enemy, but if left untrained, it will become one. Every single day, you face chaos, distraction, fear, anger, doubt, not from the world, but from within. Most people never realize this. They spend their lives trying to control everything outside of them, while completely ignoring the only thing they ever had power over, their own mind. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, ruled an empire. But more importantly, he ruled himself. He wrote not to impress others, but to remind himself of this one truth: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This video isn't about quotes, it's about tools. A mental operating system that's 2,000 years old and still undefeated. Because once you master your mind, you master your emotions, you master your focus, you master your reactions, and ultimately, you master your life. Let's walk through the Stoic path, not in theory, but in practice, the way Marcus Aurelius lived it. Not to impress, but to prepare. And if this resonates with you, drop a comment below. I don't need control, I need clarity. Part 1. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. It sounds simple. Too simple, maybe. But this is the foundation of Stoic power. The ability to divide the world into two clear categories: what's up to me and what isn't. Marcus Aurelius repeated it to himself over and over, not because he didn't understand it, but because he was human, and humans forget. We get tangled in outcomes, obsessed with opinions, paralyzed by the past, anxious about the future. We burn energy trying to rewrite reality, instead of focusing on the one thing we still own, our response to it. You can't control what they say. You can't control who leaves. You can't control the economy, the weather, the betrayal, the failure. But you can control what you think about it, how you process it, and what you choose to do next. This isn't passivity, it's power. Because when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you reclaim everything you've been wasting: your time, your peace, your presence. Imagine walking through your day knowing, no matter what happens out there, it can't touch what's in here. That's Stoic, that's unshakable. Marcus wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And when you realize it, your mind changes. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop demanding things be easy. You start preparing yourself to endure whatever shows up. Think of a soldier. They don't hope for calm skies. They train for storms. That's what you're doing when you follow this principle. You're not asking life to get easier. You're making your mind stronger. Let's be clear, this isn't a call to give up on change. It's a call to focus your energy where it actually matters. You can't control if someone respects you, but you can control how much self-respect you show. You can't control if your plan works out, but you can control how adaptable you stay when it doesn't. You can't control the thoughts that show up, but you can choose which ones you believe. That's the real power, not in fixing the world, but in mastering your response to it. So here's the challenge. Every time something frustrates you, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act. If no, accept and let go. Do this long enough, and something incredible happens. Life becomes lighter, not because the world changed, but because you stopped carrying what wasn't yours to carry. That's how Stoics kept their mind sharp in the chaos of war, politics, betrayal, death. They knew where their control began and where it ended. Do the same, and you stop being a prisoner of circumstance. You become grounded, clear, focused, free. Part 2. Train your inner dialogue. The most dangerous voice in your life isn't out there. It's the one inside your head. That quiet, constant commentary running in the background, judging, criticizing, doubting, telling you you're not good enough, not ready, not worthy. And most people never question it. They just believe it. They let that voice run the show. But here's what Marcus Aurelius understood. Your thoughts are not facts. Your inner voice is not the truth. It's a habit, and habits can be retrained. Let's break this down. You wake up and think, I'm already behind. I can't handle today. I'm not like them. And that thought, not reality, becomes your mood, your energy, your posture, your identity. But here's the thing, that voice isn't you. It's an echo of past criticism, of old fear, of childhood conditioning, cultural noise, insecurity, and you don't have to obey it. Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that. Your mood, your actions, your relationships, your future, all shaped by the quality of thoughts you repeat to yourself. So, if you want to master your mind, you start here. You train the dialogue. You become the voice that interrupts the self-doubt. You start catching your inner monologue when it spirals into fear or self-pity. And you don't fight it with fake positivity. You replace it with discipline. Instead of, "I can't handle this," say, "I've handled worse." Instead of, "This shouldn't be happening," say, "It is happening now." What? Instead of, "They don't respect me," say, "Am I respecting myself?" This isn't just mindset, it's warfare. Mental gym, where every thought is a rep. And every day, you're either reinforcing weakness or resilience. The Stoics practiced this constantly. They wrote down their fears. They challenged their judgments. They asked, "Is this helping me act with virtue, or is this just noise?" You can do the same. When your inner voice gets loud, pause, breathe. Ask, would I say this to someone I love? Is this thought guiding me or sabotaging me? And then reframe, not with delusion, but with clarity. Your thoughts should serve you, not scare you, push you, not paralyze you, empower you, not enslave you. And here's what happens when you commit to this. You become your own coach, not your critic. You become mentally resilient because your mind becomes your ally. You become dangerous, not because you never hear doubt, but because you don't let it decide who you are. So train the dialogue, rewrite the script, make your inner voice speak like a warrior, a thinker, a king. Because when your mind respects you, the world will follow. Part 3. Create distance from your thoughts. Here's a truth most people never hear. You are not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but you are not defined by them, ruled by them, or obligated to believe them. The Stoics understood this centuries before psychology caught up. Marcus Aurelius faced war, betrayal, disease, loss, but in his journal, he didn't write about controlling the world. He wrote about controlling his own mind. Over and over, he reminded himself, don't be disturbed by your own imagination, because that's what most thoughts are. Imagination, stories, fictions, distorted perceptions, dressed up as truth. You think, she doesn't care about me. I'll never succeed. They're probably judging me. I can't handle this. But are those facts? Or are they thoughts about reality? See the difference. The Stoic move, the master move, is this. Create distance. Don't cling to the thought. Don't wrestle with it either. Just observe it. Watch it like a cloud passing across the sky. Notice it like a pop-up notification on your mental dashboard. Oh, there's that thought again. This small space, the space between stimulus and response, that's where freedom lives. Most people react instantly. A bad thought shows up, they spiral. An insult hits, they explode. A fear whispers. They obey it, but not the Stoic. The Stoic sees the thought, breathes, steps back, chooses. That's the key word, choice. You can't always control what thoughts show up, but you can always control how long you entertain them. And once you see thoughts as visitors, not commands, you stop being their hostage. That moment when you catch yourself thinking, wait, is this helpful? Is this true? Do I want to follow this thought? That's the moment you regain control. The distance creates clarity. Clarity creates choice. Choice creates strength. This is why Stoics practiced journaling, because writing down your thoughts takes them out of your head onto the page, where you can see them for what they are, temporary, bendable, not always real. It's why they practiced meditation, not to escape the world, but to watch the mind, without being absorbed by it. Your thoughts aren't the enemy, but they are the training ground. If you never question them, they control you. But if you create distance, even for a second, you become something more powerful than your thoughts. You become the one who sees, and the one who sees clearly acts wisely. Part 4. Accept discomfort as fuel. We live in a world that treats discomfort like a disease. Feel even a little stress, numb it. Feel a little pain, avoid it. Feel uncertain, distract yourself immediately. But here's the truth. The Stoics knew and lived by: discomfort is not your enemy. It's your teacher, your forge, your fuel. Marcus Aurelius led Rome through plague, war, betrayal, and still, he wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." He didn't say, run from pain. He said, face it, study it, use it. Because avoiding discomfort only makes it stronger. But facing it, that turns it into strength. Think about it. The gym hurts, and your body grows. The hard conversation stings, and your relationship deepens. The failure embarrasses you, and your strategy sharpens. The heartbreak breaks you, and your character rebuilds, stronger. Discomfort is the signal that you've stepped beyond comfort. And growth never happens inside comfort. But the modern mind resists this. It wants easy wins, painless progress, soft landings. And when life doesn't deliver them, it complains, it blames, it gives up. The Stoic mind does the opposite. It expects hardship. It welcomes resistance. It says, this pain, it's proof I'm alive, and it's proof I'm growing. Seneca said, we become brave by doing brave things. You can't become mentally strong sitting on the sidelines. You have to lean in, into the fear, into the uncertainty, into the moment that says, I can't do this, and doing it anyway. This doesn't mean you chase suffering. It means when suffering shows up, you don't run, you don't flinch. You look it in the eye and say, thank you. You're here to sharpen me. That's not delusion, that's discipline. Because here's what happens when you stop fearing discomfort. You become unstoppable. Most people quit the second it hurts. They crumble the moment it gets inconvenient. But you've trained in the fire. You've sat with pain, not to suffer, but to understand it. And that makes you rare. It makes you dangerous, because you won't be broken by the very thing that breaks others. So the next time discomfort shows up, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this shaping in me? That question changes everything, because now the pain isn't random, it's purposeful, and you've become the kind of person who doesn't just survive storms, you grow through them. Part 5. Return to the present moment, again and again. You want peace? Then come back. Come back to this moment, right here, right now, because this is the only place life actually happens. Not in yesterday's regrets, not in tomorrow's worries, but in the still, quiet, ordinary now. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote it over and over in his meditations. Confine yourself to the present. Why? Because the present is the only thing you truly own. And every time your mind drifts from it, you lose power. Think about it. How much time have you wasted replaying conversations you can't change? How often have you feared outcomes that never happened? How many hours have you lived in your head instead of your life? You can't master your mind while it's scattered across 1,000 moments that don't exist anymore. You have to anchor it in now, not just once, again and again. This is not a one-time practice, it's a lifelong return, because the mind will wander. That's its nature. But you are not your mind. You are the one who calls it back. Back to your breath. Back to your body. Back to what's real. The Stoics trained this through mindfulness long before it had a name. They would pause and observe. Notice the wind, the tension in their chest, the rising emotion and the space beneath it. They weren't trying to escape the moment. They were trying to fully enter it, even when it was painful, especially when it was painful, because the present moment, as ordinary or as uncomfortable as it may be, is clean. It's not poisoned by what-ifs. It's not bloated by expectations. It just is, and in that isness, there is peace. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." You don't have to solve everything right now. You don't need the entire path to be clear. You just need to be here. And when you are, something incredible happens. Your mind slows. Your breath deepens. You make better decisions. You stop reacting and start choosing. That's mastery. So how do you train this? Start with the breath. Inhale, feel it. Exhale, feel it leave. When your mind wanders, don't fight it. Just say, back to now. If you're anxious, don't argue with your thoughts. Ground yourself. What are 5 things you can see? 4 things you can touch. 3 things you can hear. 2 you can smell. 1 you can taste. Bring your senses online, because presence lives in the body, not the mind. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about practice. Return, 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 because the present moment will keep saving you if you keep coming back to it.